Welcome back to Johnny Reads. Today I'm going to talk about what I think is going to be my last book haul of 2020. Of course, I say that and then I could be at half price in like 2 weeks. But as of right now, this should be hopefully my last trip to the bookstore for the year, and then we'll see what happens in 2021. Of course, if the world is still here. Just to go ahead and get right into the books. So the first one that I have, it's The Diver Wimpy Kid, and it's The Last Straw, which is book 3 in the series. I'm going to be completely honest. I had the first 2. I really liked the first one, didn't really like the second one, and almost always my condition for getting those books is not really because I'm really interested in them, but they're really, really short. They're written in a really unique style, which is more enjoyable usually. And they're like $3 at half price, and so usually when I go and look, whenever I go to the store, I almost always look for them, and they always have 8 million copies of all of them, the entire series, but a lot of them are in really bad shape. So usually if I find one that's in really good condition and it's the paperback versus the hardcover, then I will go ahead and get it, and that was the case this time. Not really looking forward to reading it, but you know, I'll read it, and it literally will take me like an hour and a half. To the next book that I got, it's going to be book 4 of the Percy Jackson series, which is The Battle of the Labyrinth. This is another one. They're really cheap. I think that one is like $3.99 or $3.49, something like that. Once again, I always look for them whenever I go to the store, and they always have them. But again, a lot of them, just because with young adult, you know, it's usually kids that are reading them. They're usually not in that great of shape. But that one, it was in really good shape, so I went ahead and got it. That's book 4. I read book 3 recently, which in my opinion so far has been the best one versus book 1 or book 2. So I'll go ahead and get that one read probably pretty soon, because I'm trying to get to my goal of 50, and so I'm 14 away right now. And those are really quick reads too. That kind of always plays into it, like it's a really quick read, so it's like, why not, right? Next on the list is going to be A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. Now, anybody who knows, if you have any experience with my channel, actually I can't even remember if I made a video for it, but I read The Sun Also Rises a couple of years ago, and to this day right now, like just sitting here thinking about it, I have no recollection of the book because I hated it. It was awful. And I remember, the one thing I do remember is my thought of, what was the point of the book, I think. But you know, I'm gonna give him a try. I'm gonna give him more of a chance, I would say, because I mean, he's been dead for 60, 70 years, whatever the number is, and he's still being read by a lot of people all the time. And so I'll give that a try. Not sure when I'll get to that one. Probably soon. Probably, I'm thinking beginning of next year, but you never know. It'll be just a matter of whenever I finish the book, I'll look at my shelf and decide what comes next. Next is going to be another Hemingway. I'm telling you, I'm giving him a chance. And this is going to be a super, super short book, but it's The Old Man and the Sea, which is essentially a novella. I mean, you can see how thin it is. And now that one, probably going to be reading that in the next couple of days, actually, because it's so short, and that's going to help me get to my goal. So if I know I can read that in probably one sitting, then I'll probably go ahead and do it and just see what happens. Because my experience again with Hemingway so far has just been The Sun Also Rises, and I hated it. So, you know, we'll see what I think after I read those 2. Next up is going to be The Nightfire by Michael Connelly, which is part of the Harry Bosch and then also Renee Ballard series. This one, it came out in 2019, and so I'm sure you know, but whenever books come out, initially, you know, they're usually like 30-40% off the list price, but that still is like $15, and I'm like, not really trying to pay that for a book. And so I've been waiting pretty much for about a year now for the paperbacks to come out. So there's that paperback, and there's also like the smaller mass market paperback. I couldn't find that one, so I went ahead and got that one. It was still a little bit more expensive than I wanted it to be, for considering that these other books are like $3, $4, $5, and that one's like $8. But it's okay because I love that series, and Harry Bosch never lets me down. So I am looking forward to reading that one. And the last one of the haul this time is going to be The Promise by Robert Crace, which Robert Crace, I think he's actually dominated my reading this year. I would have to go back and check, but I'm thinking I probably read about 5 books of his this year out of the 36, which to a regular person you're probably thinking that's not that many. But a lot of times if I read more than one book by any author in a given year, that's a lot. And so for him, to have been that many, or maybe even more. I have to go back and look. That's a lot for me. And actually, my most recent read was a Robert Crace novel, and my current read is a Robert Crace novel. But I have that one too, because this one's about 2 books ahead of me. And I was actually going to buy one more from the next one in the series, but I decided, it's okay. I don't have to buy too many right now, all at once. And I did go ahead and get a gift card, which they give you a $5 extra when you buy $25. So for January, I'll probably go back in January and get a bunch more. But that's all the books that I have today. As I mentioned, that's going to most likely be my last book haul of the year. No guarantee there, because who knows? Maybe I'll just read them all right now. I'm planning on probably 4 of those to probably read in the next month and a half that we have left of the year. So I'll probably get through those pretty quickly, and then get back to the point of looking at my shelf and thinking, what do I want to read next? That always happens. But that's all I have for you today. This year is the first year that I've actually bought books. In 2019, I was on a book buying ban, which maybe I mentioned that on the channel, maybe I haven't, I don't remember, because I had so many books that were left to be read. And so this year, I've actually bought quite a few. I don't have an exact number right now. I would say probably looking at 15 to 20, which that's a good number, and I've actually gotten through a lot of them already. And so, what books have you bought recently? What are you looking for when it comes to the holidays? And if you're like me, do you buy yourself gift cards, but they're only for yourself, nobody else? That's what I do with Half Price. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you next time.